What up, though, YouTube? This is day two. Well, no, I'm sorry, day three. Ashley Elkins preliminary hearing, part one.
Behalf of defendant.
We're here today for the continued hearing on regarding Mr. Booker's charges. This is the preliminary examination hearing. I know Mr. Booker has been brought over from the jail. He's not in the courtroom. We obviously had an issue with him last week, and Mr. Lane, I asked that you talked to him this morning, and you've done that, is that correct?
I have, Your Honor, and my client does wish to waive his right to be physically present and would like to have the same setup as last week, Friday, where he can see and hear the proceedings. And I would ask that kind of be the same thing as we did last week.
Thank you. He knows that he has a constitutional right to be present. His behavior warranted him not being in the courtroom last week. Did he tell you how he's going to act if he is brought in?
What's going on? Good afternoon,
He did
T-Lane.
indicate
How you doing?
that there may be some disruption. I told him that I would have to, I was obligated to pass that on to you.
So this is day three of the preliminary hearing for Ashley Elkins. It's a long one, so I'm going to do it in two parts. This is part one. And for the previous 2 days, day one and two is on my page. I'm going to create a playlist as well for those.
Your Honor, so and he also said he would prefer not to be in court.
Based on those statements made by your client, then we'll proceed without him being physically in the courtroom. He is in our jail cell. He is on Zoom, although we will not bring him. We won't have him present on our screen, and he can also hear the proceedings. And I was also informed that after the court date on Friday, sometime this week, you did attempt to talk to him about the proceedings. In fact, you indicated to the court in chambers that you gave him a synopsis at least as to what took place. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor, even though he would not see me personally, the people at the jail were kind enough to allow me to give him a letter that I wrote. He acknowledged today that he read the letter I wrote of the summary of all the things that happened last week, and particularly, summations of the witness testimony.
You know what that is?
Yes.
Their audio is terrible. That's not me, guys, by the way. That's their audio.
Thank you, Mr. Williams. With that, the parties ready to proceed?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
Any idea why that's happening?
Yes, the volume is here.
My volume is mute. My volume is mute.
What the hell they echo?
I'm trying to hear us. I'm gonna take care of that. How's that? It's just.
For those of you who's just watching, don't forget to hit that like button. As you
You're on this.
Okay.
ready.
People call pain marks.
Am I assuming that will be taken off the screen here?
Yes, can you take that off the screen?
Thank you. Hold on.
Now, the next witness that they just called to the stand, her testimony is very important, very critical to watch. She is the, I believe, adoptive niece to the defendant, DeAndre Booker. He was pretty much using her as an unknowingly or unwittingly accomplice, should I say, during this whole entire thing. When after he unalived Ashley Elkins, he basically made her to be look like a doppelganger, like running her, doing her moves, using her car, things like that. But you're gonna see during her testimony, and it's gonna be a good testimony when she get on the stand.
Defendant still able to.
Yes.
Proceed.
Is the witness coming out? Or,
Watch your step, please.
Good morning. You may have a seat. Raise your right hand, please. You solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, so help you God. Say your name, please.
Payne Barstow.
Spell your first and last name, please.
Payne, Payne, Barstow, Barkd. Sorry, Barstow, Barksdale.
Thank you. Ms. Stewart?
Good morning. I am going to ask you to speak up. Your voice is a little soft and we just all need to be able to hear you, okay? Ms. Mean, do you know someone by the name of DeAndre Booker?
Yes.
I'm going to put up what is People's Exhibit 95. If you could just take a look at the screen in just a moment. Do you recognize this photo?
Yes, that's DeAndre.
That's DeAndre Booker?
Yes,
Who is DeAndre in relation to you?
my uncle.
Is this someone that you're related by blood?
No, that's my adopted uncle.
Adopted uncle?
Yes,
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
that's my adopted uncle.
It's gonna be a little harder for us because of these fans, so if you might
Talk a
have,
little while.
yeah, you might have to feel like you're
Okay,
yelling, but
sorry.
it's okay, we need to hear you, okay? So, describe your relationship with DeAndre.
He's an emotional support system in my life. Whenever I need anything, I was going through a divorce. So I could call him and he's there. If I need money, if he's gonna give me whatever. He never really came to give me for anything, but he always sent me money for food or Ubers for work, whatever I may need him, he always stepped in.
Were you close?
So this is the direct examination from the prosecution. So she first testified to how the relationship, that how she's close to the defendant. He's always there. He's a support system. She can call on him. He gives her money. But just take note of that first part because they're going to circle back later during the cross-examination of just how close or allegedly they are.
Your whole lives?
Yes.
And you were in contact with him your whole life?
Yes. And then maybe around my high school years, we lost touch.
What's going on, ladies?
Last year in August.
Good
How
afternoon.
long would you say you lost touch for?
It's been like 10, 11 years since I've been out of high school. So, yeah.
About
That
10
long?
years you didn't
Yes.
talk to the defendant?
Yes.
And then you said you
Now, she just said it's been about 10, 11 years since she talked to the defendant, but you just first testified to a so close relationship to where he's a support system. You can call on him. He gives you money. Y'all talk. but it's been over a decade. That's what I'm not understanding. That's why I was kind of confused.
We connected last summer.
Yes, in August.
So did you talk to the defendant at the beginning of this year, January 2nd, 2025?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
He called me and he said that he needed his friend vehicle to be removed from his apartment complex because he didn't want to get in trouble.
Now, his apartment complex, have you ever been there before?
No, that was my first time.
Do you know the address?
No, I do not.
Do you know what city it's in?
Roseville.
So she knows the city where it's in, but she's never been there, doesn't know the address, but they're so close. But when he calls her to remove a vehicle, that's Ashley Elkins' vehicle that she's referring to. She just doesn't know it.
So he called you and said he needed help with moving a car, is that what you said?
Yes.
Yes.
It was a coworker. It was a male coworker. He said that he had went to his house. The car wasn't registered, so it didn't have any plates. He had just bought the vehicle. He didn't have a license, and so with me having a license, he wanted me to drive it to his coworker's house. He said the cops was hot in that area, so me having a license, if I was to get pulled over, I wouldn't be in trouble.
Okay.
So that was
So at some point on January 2nd of this year, did you go to the defendant's apartment?
yes. He requested Uber.
Who requested it?
DeAndre requested Uber for me from my apartment to go to his apartment.
Okay, so you took an Uber that was requested by the defendant to his apartment?
Yes.
What happens when you get to his apartment?
I called him and he meets me outside. He asked me for a hug. And then he said, well, let me go back in and get the keys.
So at the time, without giving us an exact address, where were you living?
Downtown,
Downtown what city?
Detroit.
Detroit. Oh. So you take an Uber from Detroit to his apartment,
Yes.
and then you said he met you outside?
Yes.
At that time, did you go inside his apartment?
No.
So what happens when he meets you outside?
He gave me a hug and then he said, let him go back in and get the keys.
So what do you do when he goes back in?
I wait
Where
on the
did you
walkway.
wait? Outside?
Yes.
At some point, does he come back out?
Yes, he come back out with the keys and we take the walkway and then we go to the parking lot.
So I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you what People's Exhibit 4. You could just take a look at the screen in a minute. Do you recognize this?
Yes.
What is this?
This is the parking lot from the back of the apartment building.
Whose apartment?
DeAndre's.
Is this where you met up with him on January 2nd?
Not the parking lot, no. The walkway of the front of his apartment.
But this area is what I mean. This apartment complex, this parking lot, this area, that's where you met up with the defendant that day?
In front of it, not the back of
The front of it?
it. Yes.
Do you remember, was it morning, afternoon, evening,
12.
12 in the morning or afternoon?
Afternoon. Could be almost 1.
Um,
So where we at with her testimony is pretty much the defendant called her to move the vehicle of Ashley Elkins because he did not have a license and could not drive.
Have you watched this video? All right. So right now, we see two people in the video. Do you recognize either or both of those?
That is DeAndre and me.
Which one are you?
The one with the baby blue jacket, and that's DeAndre with the black jacket.
So what is happening here?
I'm telling him I don't feel good. Do we mind if he drive and I would just be in the car with him?
Was he okay with that?
Oh, no. No.
So we see you walking over to the passenger side, is that correct?
Yes.
That's when you were telling him you didn't feel well?
Yes.
So what are you doing right now?
Get in the car,
Which side?
the driver's side.
And where does the defendant get in?
He get in the passenger side after he go check to see that there isn't any place, and he tap the trunk, and then he gets in the passenger.
So when you get in the car with the defendant, what happens? Does
He
say
tells-
anything?
Yes, he tells me that when I pull out, to make a left.
Do you know where you're going at this time?
No,
So how do you know where to drive?
he just tells me
So he gives you the directions?
yes.
So we're watching the video. What's happening here?
I'm pulling out of the parking lot, and then he's telling me to go left. And this is where I get nervous, where I almost come close to a car and it's about to come up soon. Right before I pull out, another car is going to come. You're going to see it's going to come up in a minute. You see where I'm pulling out and that car is coming?
All right, so you make a left out of the parking lot,
Yes.
correct? And then does the defendant tell you where to go from there?
Yes, once I get to the light to make another left.
So where do you go after that?
After I turn at the light,
Yes.
I make a left and then I keep going straight at the next light. And then maybe 2 to 3 minutes after the next light, I turn into an apartment complex.
Do you know what apartment complex that is?
Is this one that goes
I
on?
want to say golf.
Is this something you remember or are you guessing?
No,
It just
I remember.
You remember? Okay.
Yes.
Have you been to that apartment complex before?
No.
Now the first time that you've ever
The
been
whole
there.
file
Yes.
if you want. Okay.
What did you do when you pulled into the apartment complex?
I initially parked in residence because he told me that his friend stayed there with his girlfriend, but he said that his friend wasn't on the list, so I had to park in visitors.
So when you said you initially pulled into the residence area, did you park the car then?
Yes.
And then what happened after you parked the car in the residence area?
He told me to pull out and park in visitors.
So you had to pull out, park in a different spot?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what's been marked as people's proposed exhibit 88. We have a simulation.
I'm assuming this is the
Vehicle part.
Vehicles in there.
Mr. Jones's,
It's a photo.
surveillance camera.
No,
No,
it's a photo.
these are just the photos of the car.
The car, the photos, yes. Showing you what's been marked as people's proposed exhibit 88. Do you recognize this car?
Yes.
What car is this? Or what car do you recognize that to be?
A silver Malibu?
Is this the car you drove that day with the defendant?
Yes.
We move for admission of people's exhibit 88.
Any objection?
No, Your Honor.
It will be admitted.
Thank you. And then this is people's exhibit 89. Do you recognize this?
Yes, I recognize the car.
Do you recognize the car?
Yes.
Which car is this?
The Malibu.
The Malibu that you drove that day, January 2nd,
Yes.
with the defendant.
Yes.
Move for admission of people's proposed exhibit 89.
No objections, Your
It
Honor.
will be admitted.
And then we have people's proposed exhibit 90. What is this? Do you recognize it?
I recognize the car. I didn't park it like that.
So what car do you recognize it to be?
I recognize the car as a silver Malibu, but I didn't back in like that.
But this is the car that you drove on January 2nd with the defendant, correct?
Yes.
Move for admission of people's proposed exhibit 90, Your Honor.
No objection.
It will be admitted.
So after you park the car in the visitors area, what happens next?
We wait. I was on the phone with my twin sister at the time. He was texting someone. And then maybe like 5 to 10 minutes later, he asked me to get off the phone with my sister. And then he said, the Uber's here. And then I asked him, is your friend or your friend girlfriend going to come out and thank me for bringing a car? They don't want to know who drove their car. And he said that his friend wasn't there and the girlfriend wasn't coming down.
So were you aware that he was ordering another Uber? Did you know that was going?
So what he had her do, he had her ditch the car that that belongs to Ashley Elkins. That's pretty much why he called her. He couldn't drive and she didn't have a car, so he Ubered her to drive the car for him because she did have a license at the time, but he didn't have a license at all and couldn't drive.
No. So what happens next?
Once we get out the car, he told me to hand him the keys.
Did you give him the keys?
but she didn't know it. The lie he told her was that she was just dropping off the car to a friend, to a coworker, I believe, coworker's girlfriend.
Yes. And I said, so what are we gonna do with the keys? He said that his friend told him to leave it on the seat.
Did you ever see
I'm
those keys
sorry, his
again?
friend said to leave it there.
On the seat?
Thank you.
Did you ever see the keys again after you handed them over to the defendant?
No.
So what happened next?
The Uber pulled up and it's a white Tesla.
Did you get an Uber?
Right before we got into the Uber, he goes to the dumpster.
Who's he?
DeAndre.
What happens next?
He put something in the dumpster.
And then what happened?
Then we get into the Uber.
Who got into the Uber with you?
Me and DeAndre.
He was
and we
tossing
went back
away
to his
evidence.
apartment.
He was something with them.
What happens when you go back to his apartment?
Once we go inside, he shows me around. He gave me a tour of the place.
What do you remember, if anything, from, let's start with the living room? Is there anything that stood out to you?
Yes, the living room rug.
Tell me about that.
It was like a light peach rug. It was kind of scrunched up. It wasn't laying flat on the ground. That's the only thing that really stuck out to me. And there's 2 love seats. One was up against the wall, and one was kind of facing the front door.
The love seats, do they have pillows, just general, normal looking couches?
Yes, they have pillows.
Was the living room neat? Was it dirty, messy, anything that
It
you
was-
remember?
It was neat aside from the rug.
What happened while you're at the apartment?
After he gave me a tour, I told him I need to use the bathroom. He told me to wait, and he goes in and clean up some more.
So he told you to wait before you could use the restroom?
Yes,
Did you think anything of that at the time?
not really. I just know I wasn't feeling good.
So here we have them back at the apartment, his apartment. She came into his apartment where the rug was messed up, where she testified to. She asked to use the defendant's bathroom. He was kind of hesitant about not using the bathroom because that's where the incident took place. Him taking Ashley Elkins' life. That's why he was so trying to guard her not to use the bathroom.
I'm like, I don't know if he was just trying to clean it before I walked in. I didn't think nothing of it at the moment. No.
So, do you go to use the restroom?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what's been admitted as People's Exhibit 22. Is this what the defendant's bathroom looked like when you used it on January 2nd?
No.
What's different about it?
There was not a towel. There was a blue shower curtain.
The shower curtain, was it open or shut?
It was shut with a big bird in the middle and animals and flowers coming out from the side of the bird.
So you do remember seeing a blue shower curtain that was shut, meaning covering the tub?
Yes.
Anything else look different?
There was no bleach.
Bleach. Do you remember anything else that would have been different from this photo? You had mentioned no bleach, so when you were in the bathroom the first time on January 2nd, did you get a look at the countertop, the sink, anything like that?
It was facial hair on the counter and sink.
So it was dirty when you were in there the first time?
Yeah, it was just a sink. Now the toilet was clean, but it was just a sink.
Okay.
It had some hair.
Some hair?
Yeah.
So after you use the restroom, what happens, or straight that, you had mentioned that you weren't feeling well, correct? And then you had mentioned also that he went in before you was spraying something. Were you able to tell what he was spraying?
It's not pine salt.
Like pine salt, like a cleaning solution?
Yes, it was no smell of bleach at all.
So what happens after you use the restroom at the defendant's apartment?
I go to sit back on the couch and he asked me to come into the room with him.
Which room?
His bedroom, and he asked to use my charger, which I did, and then he said that he needs to go to the beauty supply because he needed a do-rag.
When you go into his bedroom, did you notice anything? Was it neat? Was it messy? Anything stand out to you?
It was neat. It just looked like he had laid in the bed, but it was still neat.
So were there?
What I would have questioned is why would you need a do-rag when you got a afro or a mini afro? But she didn't even pick up on that.
There were pillows, blankets, comforters, all that.
Yes, and there was a kid's basketball room on the on DeAndre's closet door. It was a few colognes on the dresser. But there was nothing out of place. Like the shoes, the boxes, and clothes were stacked neatly in the closet.
So what happens after that?
He ordered us an Uber to go to the beauty supply.
Do you remember which beauty supply store you went to with the name of it?
Kelly.
Kelly Beauty? Oh.
Yes.
So he ordered another Uber for the two of you?
Yes.
Okay, so both of you got in that Uber?
Yes.
Did anybody else go with you to Kelly Beauty?
No. It was just us two the entire time.
So I'm gonna show you what has been marked as People's Proposed Exhibit 5. Do you recognize this? Oh, sorry, it's not on screen yet. Okay, do you recognize this?
Yes.
What is this?
Kelly Beauty Supply.
This is the entrance into Kelly Beauty Supply?
Yes.
And is this where you went with the defendant in the Uber on January 2nd?
Yes. Can I stand up for a moment?
Yes, please. If that will help you see better.
The Uber driver, you see the back tail light? That's the Uber driver, and that's where he was sitting in the car waiting for me.
So you're indicating to the part, it would be the top of the video,
Yes.
just slightly to the right of the center
Yes.
of the entranceway?
Mhm.
So I move for the admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 5.
Objection.
That'd be the-
Thank you. All right, we're gonna watch this. And you had mentioned you believe that to be the Uber parked in that top area?
Yes. And I initially go into Dollar General. You see me right there. And
Okay.
then I realize I'm at the wrong door because the Uber driver tells me and tells me that this is a beauty supply
Now
entrance.
you're kind of pointing to someone that would be the very top of the video in the middle, correct?
Yes.
Is that you
Yes.
walking in right now?
Yes.
And do you remember like what time that was?
I would say around 1 something. I know I got to his place maybe around 12:30 or 1, so
So-
then maybe 1.
Okay, so this video that we just submitted does have the timestamp at the top says 13:53:05, which would be 1:53:05.
That's about right.
Oh, that's accurate?
Yes.
And this is you walking in, is that correct?
Yes.
You're wearing, this is the same clothes we saw in the first People's Exhibit 4, the first video we watched, correct?
Yes.
All right, now we've jumped forward to 1:57. Who is that?
Me.
So you are walking out of the store.
Yes.
Where do you go when you walk out?
To the Uber.
The same Uber that you came in?
Yes.
So where was the defendant when you were in the store?
Sitting inside the car.
He stayed in the Uber?
Yes.
Do you know, did he say anything about why?
Usually when you have an Uber and there's 2 people, it's always best that one stay because you do have a time limit. And if you're not back in the vehicle at a certain time, they are allowed to pull off.
Okay, so it was just the two of you and the Uber driver in the Uber that entire time, correct?
Yes.
What happens after you go to Kelly Beauty?
We go back to his apartment.
What happens when you get back to his apartment?
I go back into his room. He asked me was I hungry. I said I wasn't hungry because I wasn't feeling well. He still insisted to feed me because usually he always feed me. He do. And then I had ended up ordering Chipotle. So he put his card on my account and I told what I wanted to order. And then I think maybe like 5 minutes, I realized it was ordered back to my place and not his apartment.
So who ordered the food, you or the defendant?
I ordered, he paid for it.
And you had it sent to your apartment in Detroit?
It was supposed to be sent to his place, but instead it was sent to mine.
So what happens after you realize the food got sent to your apartment?
He said that he will request an Uber, but he needs to see my charger for a minute because he needs to charge his phone. And then he asked me, if you turn the phone off, will anyone still see your location? I said, whatever location the phone was at before the phone was turned off, then yes. And then he asked if him and I could share locations.
So when he asked you this was after you were at Kelly Beauty with the defendant, correct?
Yes.
So I'm gonna pause and update it. The reason why he had her go to the beauty supplies because it was said that Ashley Elkins was going to the beauty supplies to get some supplies because she did hair. So I guess he tried to pretend to throw people off that she wasn't missing to have her go in her place. And she kind of does look similar to Ashley Elkins a little bit.
Did you end up sharing the location of the defendant?
But yeah, that's all I want to say. His Google searches already corroborates what he was planning as well, as far as how to escape, how to get to Ohio, how to beat a lie detector test. He had a lot of Google searches, and I already covered that, I believe, in day one. Yeah, day one of those, of what he was planning to do. So she just recently asked her, as he asked, at first he had asked her, what happens when you turn your iPhone location off? He was Google searching things like that already prior to. He was Google searching what's the fastest route to Flint out of Detroit, or out of Detroit's fastest routes to Flint. How to clean up blood, all kind of things like that. But I'm gonna just go ahead and finish her part, what she got to say.
Yes.
What happens next?
I wait for the Uber, and then once it got close enough, I ended up leaving out.
Did the defendant go with you?
No.
So you went in the Uber back to your apartment in Detroit where the food was delivered,
Yes.
and the defendant did not go with you?
No. But I did text him and told him I left my charger and I left some edge control in a black little bag.
So at some point after this, you end
What's
up
going on
talking
here, buddy?
to Roseville Police, is that correct?
Yeah,
Yes.
it
And
is.
you end up
And her
providing
case
them
been on
with the
hold, that's
clothing
why I've
that
been
you were wearing in those videos you saw, correct?
Yes.
I'm gonna show you what has been marked as people's proposed exhibit 6. Just give us one moment. Do you recognize what's in this photo?
Yes.
What is it?
Some black shoes, a Ford hoodie, a baby blue jacket, and my polka dot pajama pants.
And are these the clothes you provided to Roseville Police?
Yes.
And these are the clothes that you were wearing on January 2nd when you went to the defendant's apartment in Roseville, correct?
Yes.
Move for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 6. Mr. Knight?
No objection.
That would be right.
And then we have people's proposed exhibit 7. Do you recognize this?
Yes, that's the purse I was wearing
When were you wearing that purse?
on January 2nd.
When you went to the defendant's apartment?
Yes.
And did you provide that to the police as well?
I think I still have the purse.
Okay, but you showed it to them?
Yes.
And so does this accurately reflect the purse that you were wearing on January 2nd that you showed to the police?
Yes.
Move for the admission of people's proposed exhibit 7, Your Honor.
No objection.
That would be right.
If I have just a moment. All right, I'm showing you what has already been admitted as People's Exhibit 96. I know it is, oh, no, we're not showing you yet, sorry. It's just a moment. Okay, now this is what has already been admitted as People's Exhibit 96. It's an overhead view. Does this look familiar? I know you probably never had this exact view, but are you able to identify what's in this photo?
Yes.
Okay, tell me what you recognize.
The apartment in the parking lot.
Whose apartment?
DeAndre's apartment.
In Roseville?
Yes.
So if you can you show us where you were initially dropped off the first time you came on January 2nd? All right, so you are pointing to kind of about 2/3 of the way down, just right of center, there was a white car parked on a side street. Is that, do you know what street, what the name of that is?
No.
So you were dropped off there. Now, the parking lot that we saw in the first video, Where, is that in this photo? Okay, so that's down at the bottom center where all those cars are parked.
Yes.
And where did you initially first see the defendant when you got dropped off on January 10th? So you have pointed to the opposite side of the building from the parking lot?
Yes.
Is that where he met up with you?
Yes.
What happened when he met up with you? Where did he go?
He gave me a hug and he said that he needed to go get the keys, so we went back inside.
Do you know which door he went in? Can you show us on there? Okay, so that would be the opposite side of the building from the parking lot, and
Yes.
what we're looking at is the door to the left, correct?
Yes.
And where did you go when he did that?
I waited.
You waited in that same
Yes.
spot,
Okay.
and at some point you met back up with him. Where did you meet back up?
In the same spot, and then we ended up walking down here.
Okay, so you have shown there's a sidewalk that just goes around the building and towards the parking lot,
Yes.
and then where did you go from that sidewalk?
Right here, and I think across right here.
And that's the video that we saw, the first one, People's Exhibit 4, correct?
Yes.
And you can have a seat. When you were at the defendant's apartment, how was he acting throughout the day?
He couldn't sit down. I asked him that he made me nervous and if he could sit down because he just kept pacing back and forth. He didn't go.
Because he was worried.
Sit down?
No.
While he was
So you
facing.
asked him to because it made you uncomfortable?
Yeah,
Why did it make you uncomfortable?
because he's walking back and forth, and I'm not sure why. I kept asking him, was he okay? Was something wrong? And he didn't really give me an answer.
Nothing further at this time, Your Honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gordon.
Payne, now, Mr. Booker is not any blood relationship to you, correct?
You know,
So he's not really your uncle, correct?
he's my adopted uncle. His sister adopted me.
Okay. I would be correct in stating that his sister took you and your sister into her home as like a foster child?
I'm not sure let's talk about that.
I'm sorry?
It's I'm supposed to answer that. Because that's personal.
Hold on a second. I don't know if you heard what you said.
Yes,
Did you have an objection?
yes, Your Honor. I do have an objection as to relevance.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to get at how she knows Mr. Booker so well. And I'm trying to establish how it is they met each other and their history together. I think that's relevant. I don't think
So right now we're on the cross-examination from the defendant.
secretive or confidential.
It's not that it's secretive or confidential, but she did already testify that she was adopted.
You know, what they're arguing about now is the relationship between the defendant and the witness on the stand. I believe she's his adoptive niece. His sister adopted her. But from what she testified to earlier, she said she didn't really, it's been like a decade in between times since they spoke. So that's why I was kind of stuck on, like, how are y'all so close? And he's a support system and this and that. And y'all haven't spoken over 10 years.
Her adopted uncle, they grew up together, and there was a period of approximately 10 years where they didn't speak, but that they were very close when they were growing up.
Well, I believe I get to ask questions about that. I don't know whether there was some official adoption or not.
You can ask if there's official adoption.
I'm not really going in that direction anyways. Okay. I'm trying to establish how it is they do each other.
I was adopted.
I'm sorry,
I was adopted.
you were adopted
Yes.
by Mr. Booker's sister.
Yes.
Okay. And is Mr. Booker older than you?
Yes.
And he's older by how many years?
I'm not sure.
You're how old now?
I'm 30.
I'm sorry,
I'm 30.
you're 30.
Do you know how old he is?
And it's Mr. Booker somewhere around 35, 36.
He's in his 30s.
How old were you when you came?
Yeah, that because the cross is about to be crazy. Because you claim to have this close relationship with him, but you don't even know how old he is. I'm not understanding that.
To live with Mr. Booker and his sister. I'm sorry?
Well,
I can't hear you.
her answer
I
was,
don't want to answer that.
she said, I don't
Well,
want
I
to.
don't think you have a choice but to answer my questions. This isn't for,
Yes, sir.
Because it is more
Just
personal.
1 second, please.
It's sad when the judge got a backseat drive for the prosecution, like they don't know when to speak up.
We do have an objection to relevance, Your Honor. We're gonna continue objecting to delving into the intricate details of Ms. Barksdale's childhood. I don't think it's necessarily relevant as to what may or may not have happened on January
What's going on,
2nd.
Colin Henry? Good
well, I
afternoon.
think it's relevant as to how well she knows him, how old she was when she met him, how old she was when they separated for 10 years. I believe all of that is certainly relevant to her memory, her ability to recall information.
I don't think it has.
And it goes to how well she knows him.
I don't think it has anything to do with her memory as to what happened on January 2nd. How old she was when she was adopted has absolutely nothing to do with the events that transpired on January 2nd. I don't see any relevance in that.
I'll overrule the objection, but your questions should be limited to anything that may be relevant. The reason I'm overruling the objection is because prosecution did bring it up, the issue of adoption, how long she's known him, during the direct examination. So for that reason, I'm overruling the objection, but I'm not going to let you delve too far into the relationship. Go ahead, Mr. Lyons.
So I'll repeat my question. How old were you when you came to live with Mr. Booker and his sister?
I lived with the sister, not DeAndre.
I'm sorry?
DeAndre wasn't in the home when I lived with the sister.
So you're saying that you never lived in the same home with Mr. Booker?
No, we didn't live in the same home.
How is it that you knew him then when you say that, you only lost touch with him when you were in high school?
I'm gonna object again to relevance, Your Honor. We again established the nature of their familial relationship. It doesn't matter who she lived with, who he lived with. She testified they were close, they were family members, they spent time together.
Okay,
Well, now,
hold on just a second, because I'm going to overrule the objection, because you did ask questions regarding how she knew him initially, the fact that he is.
I'm not for the defense, but he does have valid points as far as the relationship. This is what she's testifying to. She's testifying to something that happened years ago when they were younger, but it doesn't explain it. It doesn't explain the relationship in between time. It's just more so he popped out of nowhere to ask her to do a favor when he was in a situation that he needed help with. That's probably the only reason why he reached out to her. But I feel like those questions that the defense is asking is very relevant, though. That's my opinion.
Her adopted uncle. Again, I think that they were brought up in on direct, and I will out. Go ahead.
you
Your
know,
testimony though was that you never lived with Mr. Booker. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. Go ahead.
how did you know him if you never lived with him?
His sister was initially my godmother. She was my teacher at first. She became my godmother, and she adopted us our high school freshman year. By the time she took us in, she had already given up her adoption for him. So once I moved in, he was already placed back in the system.
He already what?
DeAndre was placed back into the system.
So did you know Mr. Booker before you started living with
Yes,
his sister?
yes.
How did you know him?
Because he was staying with her. He was adopted by his sister. So we would go on outings together with his sister.
Before you lived?
We was raised like I was his niece and he was my uncle. That's how we were raised.
Before you actually came to live with
Her. Yes, when I lived with her, he was already placed back in the system. She had given up her adoption for him. She had adopted him when he was 2. And she had given up her adoption for whatever reason, and then that's when she moved.
You don't know that for a fact, correct?
What I don't know for a fact. That she had given up her adoption?
The adoption of Mr. Booker.
Yeah, she did give up her adoption.
You know that for a fact.
Yes, I know that for a fact.
But Mr. Booker wasn't around at all when you started living there, correct?
No,
And you know how old he was when he left the home of his sister?
no, I don't know how old he was. I just know he's a teenager.
But you do know his history in terms of him living with his sister for quite some time, since he was a young child.
Yeah, she
And I
adopted
found
us
those
too.
back, Your Honor, to both asked and answered and relevance.
Your Honor, it's relevant as to, her
She's already answered the question.
supposed knowledge of him.
But she's already
She
answered the
supposedly
question.
knows somebody that I'm trying to question whether she even ever met him before. I mean,
Ask her that
it
question.
doesn't sound like
Go
it.
ahead.
I feel like the judge has already made his decision. He's trying to take the battle. Like, let it go.
Okay,
Answers.
just, you can ask the question, did she know him at all? I believe she's already testified that she did.
Yes.
Right, but, I think I can delve into how she knows somebody that she never lived with.
You can ask that question.
And again, this is a topic that we've covered. She indicated how she knows him. And just because she didn't live with him.
Mr. Ryan?
Do you know if Mr. Booker, you said you didn't see him let me strike that. The first time you see him in at least 10 years is on January 2nd, correct?
Yes. We only communicated by phone or FaceTime.
And you're saying you kept in touch with him over those 10 years?
No.
You only started communicating with him in August of 2024?
Yes.
And you said you were in your freshman year of high school when you went to live with his sister?
Yes.
So that would mean you were 14, 15 years old?
Yes.
Okay. So from the age of 14 or 15 till August 24th,
No lie, I'm trying to understand the dynamic myself.
have any contact with Mr. Booker at all?
No. I had no way of getting in contact with him.
Okay. And did you know of his whereabouts or what he was doing during that 10 years?
No. I just knew he was in the Army. That was it.
Okay. And when you reconnected in August of 2024, how did you do that?
His sister gave me his Facebook name.
So you reconnected over Facebook
Yes.
and started communicating with each other.
Yes.
Now, did you know that Mr. Booker did not have a driver's license from him telling you that or from somebody else telling you?
From him telling me that.
You testified that he was your emotional support system in life. How is that possible if you never lived with him?
Yeah, I was
and
wondering.
Didn't see him or communicate with him for.
That's not a wrong question he asking, because I was trying to get there as myself. Like, how is he a support system when you really have no contact with him, and especially in over 10 years?
over 10 years?
He was before we lost contact, and once we were back in contact again, it continued.
So how, when you got back in contact, I take it you talked to him about problems in your own life, correct?
Yes.
Judge, I understand that this was.
I'm not
something that was-
dialing into
Yeah,
it.
I'm objecting, sir. I understand this was something that was brought up on direct, but I think we're going a little bit astray as far as relevance to the intricate details of how she communicated after they reconnected. She indicated they reconnected in the summer, and now we're here to talk about what happened on January 2nd, 2025.
I'm not the one who brought this up. She did.
Okay, so I overruled the objection. Mr. Lang also indicated he's not going to delve into any problems that she may have had. Go ahead.
Did you talk to him about problems in your life,
Yes.
starting in August of 2024?
Yes.
Did you ask him for money during the period from August through 24 through January of 2025?
Yes.
And he gave you money?
Yes.
And at some point in time, on January 2nd, he calls you and asks you to do him a favor about moving a car because he doesn't have a driver's license, correct?
Not because he didn't have a driver's license. His coworker didn't have a driver's license.
Well, but you know he didn't have a driver's license, correct?
Yes.
He had told you.
Yes.
And again, he asked you to move his friend's car because he didn't have a driver's license, correct?
Yes.
And would I be correct in stating that when you met him on January 2nd, having not seen him for a while, you were very curious to see him in person, correct?
Yes.
You're happy about that?
Not really. I wasn't feeling good, so I didn't really show emotion of happiness.
So this uncle, who is your emotional support system in life, you weren't happy about meeting him in person? Why did you do that then?
I just wasn't feeling good.
So wouldn't that be more of an excuse not to go than to go?
If I had an excuse to not go, I wouldn't have went.
What?
If I had an excuse to not go, I wouldn't have went.
I don't understand that.
You said if I was not happy to see him, then why did I go? That would have been an excuse.
No, you said you weren't feeling good.
I wasn't feeling good, but when someone do something for you, you feel obligated. He never asked me for anything. I'm the only one that always asks him for things. So the one time he asked me for something, I did it, even though I was not feeling good.
Okay. But you weren't really happy to see him, correct?
I didn't understand what you said. What was your answer?
I wasn't feeling good. He keep asking if I was happy.
Thank you.
I was asking if you were happy to see him in person for the
No.
first time.
No.
She getting aggressive. Like, look.
And when you drove this car, at first you thought that the car was baby blue in color, correct?
Yes.
And is that because your eyesight isn't very good?
Yeah, I do have that eyesight. Yes.
Okay. So at first you didn't know whether it was silver or baby blue, correct?
Yeah, under my impression, I thought it was baby blue.
Okay. And you've seen these pictures and you identify the car that you got into, and you've seen the video of you getting into that car, and you now know that it's silver, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You didn't know that at the time.
No.
Now, when you drove the car to the
What's
apartment
going on,
complex, you just don't know the name of the apartment
Appreciate you pulling
complex,
up.
correct?
I believe it was golf. I'm not sure if that was a name or that was a street.
And you said you gave the keys back to Mr. Booker, correct?
Yes,
And you said he was going to leave the keys in the seat of the car, correct?
yes,
And you have no idea whether he did that or not, correct?
no,
And you said he went to a dumpster near the car and threw something away, correct?
yes,
And you don't know what he threw away, correct?
no,
In fact, you told the police officer you thought it was something soft because you didn't hear any noise,
I did.
any banging in the dumpster, correct?
No,
So you didn't think it was keys that he threw in the dumpster, correct? Correct?
yes,
And while you were, just after you parked the car, an Uber came and picked you up and you went.
but we sat there for a while,
Well, you had to
maybe
wait,
about 5 or 10 minutes.
had to wait for the Uber, correct?
Yes,
And when you got in that Uber, is that the same Uber that took you to Kelly Beauty Supply?
no, he requested a whole new one.
That was a whole different.
Yes, once we got in the white Tesla to head back to his apartment, we went inside his apartment and then he requested another one to go to.
Damn, it's
Kelly
like
Supply.
2 more hours long. I gotta get something to eat.
So you went inside the apartment
Yes,
prior to going to Kelly Beauty Salon, correct?
yes,
Okay.
that's when he gave me a walkthrough of his apartment. And that's when I also used the bathroom. Yes.
Come on in, tell her she ain't supposed to talk unless you ask.
All right. And didn't you tell the police that you were curious about how he was living and you looked around the apartment to see if it was clean, neat, dirty,
I
correct?
wasn't curious about how he was living. He offered to give me a tour of the apartment. I was never curious.
You weren't curious at all.
No, when I came in, I sat down on the couch right away. He offered to give me a tour.
But you did notice that the apartment was clean, correct?
Yes, the apartment's
The
clean.
apartment was neat, correct?
Yes,
All his clothes were hung up neatly in the closet.
yes,
All his shoes were kind of in boxes, all neatly in the closet, correct?
yes,
Furniture was, there wasn't much furniture in there, but it was adjusted and neat looking, correct?
yes.
Okay. And you said when you went into the bathroom,
Why you just take a dig at his client and say there wasn't much furniture in there, but you know.
that he said, hold on, let me, clean it a little bit, correct?
Yes,
And he sprayed some kind of Pine Sol
yes,
in there. And didn't you tell the police that the exact type of Pine Sol or thing that he sprayed around in the bathroom was the exact brand that you use in your apartment?
yes,
And you didn't show the police that, correct?
yes.
So that wasn't anything unusual, correct?
No,
Okay. And then you said the bathroom was, fairly clean and neat, except for
the counters.
you thought there was some hair
Facial
on
hair.
the vanity where the sink is.
Yes,
And you thought that might have been either beard hair, he had a beard, right?
yes,
Okay. That it might have been beard hair or pubic hair,
yes,
not sure.
yes,
That was the only thing out of place in that bathroom, correct?
yes,
Everything else was clean and neat, correct?
yes.
Now, when you used the bathroom, did you said there was a shower curtain there. Did you kind of look, past the shower curtain to see if the bathtub was clean, neat?
No,
Man, Lady Shaw, I
That didn't
said it so many times,
No.
like they don't even realize the court reporter is in there. He or she cannot get everything that they're saying if they keep bumping into words, and that's exactly what they're doing. She's not even allowing him to finish the question before she answered yes or no. She's just so combative and upset. she don't like the way the question game is going, so she ready to get off the stand.
And when you talk to the police, yes, I believe this might have been January 9th was the first time you talked to the police, correct?
Yes,
That was inside your apartment?
yes,
Okay. And you remember telling the police that you remember the shower curtain, you can't remember much detail about it, it was blue, black or something,
yes.
and that you didn't mention any animal prints or anything to the police, correct?
I told them I wasn't sure if it was animal or bird prints.
And you're still not sure of exactly what prints may have been on the shower curtain, correct?
It wasn't prints, I just knew it was either animals or birds, but I wasn't sure as to which one.
And was it the same blue color, or were the animal in black or red or any other type of color?
The animals were in colors, it was in the center of the
In
shower.
colors?
Yeah, the color of the animal or what they're supposed to be, they were just in the center of the shower curtain. They wasn't spread it out, they were just in the center.
But you never gave that kind of detailed description to the police on January 9th,
I
correct?
just said that the shower curtain was blue and I was not sure if it was birds or animals.
And why are you sure today than when January 9th?
I said the same thing to you today that I said to them on the 9th.
Have you seen any pictures of the shower curtain before you testified today?
No, I still have not seen any pictures.
I'm sorry?
No,
Can we know the relevancy of these shower curtains, like the color and birds and animals? What does that have to do with what we trying to figure out with this case?
And then you said you didn't walk over to Kelly Beauty Salon from his apartment, you took an Uber, correct?
yes,
And DeAndre went with you and
Yes.
stayed in the Uber while you went shopping for some things that you needed, correct?
yes,
And he did that so that the Uber would stay and wouldn't leave and have to call a new one, correct?
yes,
Okay. You get back to the apartment and you said you ordered some food from Chipotle.
yes, from DoorDash.
All right. And you ordered.
Hey, the
it
judge
from your
was
phone,
bored.
Yes, from my phone, he used his
Okay.
card.
but you used his card to pay for it.
Yeah,
Correct?
he put the card information in.
Okay.
Because I am trying to figure out where he's going with this questioning. Like, it's not trying to vindicate his client or anything. He's not trying to catch her on a lie. He's just pretty much trying to figure out the events of what happened that day. You know, what color was the curtain? Where did y'all go? What time did y'all leave? What store did y'all go to? Stuff like that. But he's not presenting any type of defense at all.
And I take it that the food wasn't delivered to DeAndre's apartment, it was delivered to your apartment.
Yes,
And is that because they already had your address in the application or whatever?
yes, but he had switched it to his apartment, but I think it was too late, so it had already was on the way to mine.
So then when you discovered the food wasn't coming to his apartment, you got an Uber to go back, or DeAndre got an Uber for you to go back to kind of get the food.
Yes,
in
DeAndre
your
requested the
apartment.
Uber for me to get back to my apartment. Yes.
I have no further questions.
Okay, any questions on
Yes, thank you. The discussion about the color of the car, you said you thought it was baby blue and you have bad eyesight.
Yes, I have bifocal.
Did you ever talk to the defendant about what color the car was?
Yes, I told, wait, it's on DeAndre?
I'm sorry?
You said defendant, you talking about DeAndre?
Yes. Did you
Yes.
ever talk to him about what color the car that you moved was?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
That is the defendant's name, man.
I brought the conversation up to him maybe a day after, so January 3rd. My twin sister had reached out to me and asked me about Ashley. She told me that our mother had reached out to her and said that she
Well,
was
objection, Your Honor, as to her testifying about whatever anybody else told her, that's hearsay.
That's the only reason how the car
agree.
color
So,
came
okay,
out.
I agree. I can rephrase the question. Back on January 2nd, 2025, when you were with the defendant,
Mhm.
did you have a discussion about the color of the car?
No,
So did he never told you, hey, this car is blue, this car is black, this car is silver, anything like that?
no,
At any point, did you have that conversation
no,
with the defendant about what color the car was?
no, not until the no,
I'm sorry?
not until the day after.
The day after, okay.
Yes,
So you had a conversation on January 3rd with the defendant about the color of the car?
yes,
And did he tell you what color the car was on January 3rd?
yes,
What did he say?
baby blue.
So he told you it was baby blue?
Yes,
Did you ever ask any follow-up questions about, is it really baby blue or is it another color?
yes.
And what did he respond to that?
He said no, that it was baby blue and that I'm overthinking it. I'm thinking too much into it.
So the defense was asking you questions about whether or not you were happy to see the defendant on January 2nd. And you had said that, you kind of felt obligated and you weren't feeling well. So why is it exactly that you said you didn't feel happy to see him? Is it because you were angry at him, or is it just
It's not just that I was not feeling
the things you already mentioned?
Yes.
When you were at the defendant's apartment on January 2nd and you went to use the restroom, did you happen to notice if there were any towels to dry your hands on or anything like that?
No,
Did you notice whether or not there was a rug in the bathroom?
no, I'm not sure.
Do you know someone by the name of Detective Goodell?
Sounds familiar.
Do you know someone by the name of Detective Lesperance? This gentleman seated to my left.
Yes.
You've met him before?
Yes, I'm sorry. It's so many names.
That's
so many
okay.
techniques.
Have you ever lived with, now Sergeant Lesperance? You ever lived with him?
Him?
Yes, him.
No.
But you're able to know who he is even though you didn't live with him, correct?
Yes.
Nothing further, thank you.
I don't agree with that.
Thank you, you may sit down.
Again, watch your step.
Have a brief question.
Thank you, sir.
We'll take a short break. You know, we have.
That was eventful.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Say your name, please.
Tony Gresser.
Spell your first and last name, please.
Tony, Tony, Gresser, Grusser.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Thank you, Mr. Franklin.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, ma'am. What is your current occupation?
I am a forensic scientist with the Michigan State Police in the biology unit, doing body fluid identification, and I also respond to crime scenes.
In your capacity to respond to crime scenes, what specifically do you do in that regard?
I respond to crime scenes and I process the scene for any sort
So we have a DNA crime scene tech expert on the stand for the prosecution.
of evidence that may be probative to the incident.
How long have you been employed in that capacity?
I have been with the state police since 2018. I have been a forensic scientist since 2021, and I've been responding to crime scenes since 2018 as well.
Were you employed in that capacity in January of 2025?
Yes, I was.
All right. In that capacity, did you have cause to go to an apartment on Pinehurst in the city of Roseville?
I did.
26069 Pinehurst, is that where you responded?
May I check my report?
Would that help refresh your recollection?
Yes, it would.
Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Thank
Review it silently to yourself.
Yes, that is the address.
Do you know the apartment number?
It was the second floor west apartment, but I don't know the exact number.
I believe she found the blood in his apartment.
Apartment 202.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, what were you called to that location to do?
We were called to that crime scene to process for blood evidence.
Do you have any training as it relates to the collection of and identification of blood evidence or suspected blood evidence?
I do, yeah. I work in the biology unit in the lab. So we had a year-long training program, which consisted of lectures, readings, practice samples, mock cases, as well as practical examinations, which I passed all of those. And then crime scene aspect, I did a few month-long training program and then went to a crime scene schooling, which I passed as well, which all included processing for blood.
Do you have any education, formal education as it relates to this in addition to the training that you received through the Michigan State Police?
I do. I have a bachelor's degree from Marygrove College with a concentration in biology.
What is that degree in?
Forensic science with a concentration in biology.
Thank you. And in your capacity as a forensic scientist for the Michigan State Police Crime Lab, have you ever had an opportunity to testify in court as an expert witness in that field?
I have, yes.
You've been tendered as an expert?
I have, all times, yeah, 5.
Your Honor, at this time, the people would move to tender, I'm sorry, let me do it this way. Do you recognize this as well with the mark for identification purposes as People's Proposed Exhibit 183?
Yes, this
What-
is my CV.
It fairly and accurately depicts all of your education and everything else that you've done as it relates to this field
It does.
professionally? Thank you. Your Honor, people move for admission of People's Proposed Exhibit 183.
Your Honor, I have no objections for purposes of exam only.
That's the curriculum.
Yes, permission to post to the court?
Yes. It would be admitted.
Thank you. And at this time, Judge, I would tender Ms. Gresser as an expert in the area of forensic science, specifically as it relates to biology and blood identification.
Your Honor, I usually would just, say that's fine, but I haven't had an opportunity to really go over her CV, just handed to it this morning. And I would just like to ask her a few questions while I'm going through this, if that's possible. Is your expertise just in identifying whether or not blood is human versus animal?
No, our blood tests are presumptive, meaning other things can cause positives. We test for blood and then we send that sample forward for DNA processing, and then they can give a DNA profile.
Okay, I guess that was kind of leading to my next question. I take it if you collect evidence that you believe is blood evidence, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and then you collect it, you process it, but you don't take part in the actual identifying that as to the blood belonging to a person.
We do have a test specific to humans. However, we only use that test in cases where there may have been an animal involved in the incident. So in this case, I did not do human blood testing. I collected samples. We sent it to the lab for another biologist to process and send forward for DNA.
Okay, so you wouldn't be here to testify about DNA or the identification of any blood that you particularly processed as belonging to one person or another?
Correct. Yeah, DNA is outside my area of expertise.
I have no further questions, Your Honor, and yeah, for the purposes of examination, only stipulating that she's an expert in everything.
Thank you. Please describe what you did then when you arrived at that apartment 202 on Pinehurst.
Yes. So once we get to the crime scene, we meet with the officers to discuss case details and what we might need to be processing for. Once we got there, we did our general documentation, including notes and notes, notes and photos. And then we went into the crime scene or the place of interest.
Let me interrupt you for just a second. When you say we did this, we went in, who were you with that day?
Sorry, yes. On my team, we had 2 other individuals, forensic scientist, she was a forensic technician at the time, Olivia Hall, and then forensic technician, Natalie McElroy. So we all went into the scene, did our general documentation and photographs, and then after that, we went outside north of the Hampton Apartments to a dumpster where we did additional processing.
All right. Why were you called to a dumpster north of the apartment?
Case details that we received from the agency said that a subject was seen on video leaving the apartment building following this specific trail that they walked us through to this dumpster, and he was pushing a shopping cart which appeared to have large items inside of it. So we were called to the dumpster to process it for blood evidence.
All right. I'm going to show you what's been already entered into evidence, several exhibits. So let's start with exhibit 74. Will be on the screen here. What is this here?
Why she smiling?
That is an image of the dumpster that we processed.
Was that yellow tape on it when you arrived?
It was, yes.
Was the dumpster being guarded by anyone, or was it simply left alone?
There was someone from the agency there.
Agency meaning the Roseville Police Department?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's go to 75. What are we looking at here?
This is another image of the dumpster.
And now,
Homegirl acting like she had too many shots of espresso on the stand that morning. I don't know why she's so chipper and smiling and shit. I'm like, why she? Well, yeah, let me just finish playing.
76. What are we looking at here, man?
This is an image from inside the dumpster on the floor of the dumpster with apparent red-brown staining.
Where is that red-brown staining?
If you see the tin foil and styrofoam, it is on both of those items as well as next to it.
Bottom left corner of this photograph?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. When you see that, what do?
Once I saw that, we went inside the dumpster, or I went inside the dumpster, and I tested the sample for blood. We used a 2-step chemical test that turns pink if positive for the possible presence of blood, which it did. And so from there, I collected a sample of the blood on the dumpster floor, as well as collected the tin foil and the styrofoam from inside as well.
When you say you went inside the dumpster, like you stuck your hand in and reached in?
I fully went inside the dumpster from the other side so that not to contaminate anything.
So you were standing in the dumpster?
I was, yes.
You said you collected a sample. How do you go about collecting a sample?
I use a sterile swab and I swab it up onto the swab and then I package it securely.
How do you make sure that it's not contaminated in any way?
I put it directly into the product vector that I removed it from and then immediately package it right away. Between the time that it was put there and me responding, I can't say whether it was contaminated or not, but.
I understand. I guess my question is, how do you make sure that your sample itself is not contaminated?
We wear protective equipment both for ourselves and for the evidence, including gloves, booties, and masks sometimes as well.
You've been trained on all the proper protocols on how to collect evidence such as this?
Yes, I have.
And did you follow all of those protocols in this particular case?
I did.
77 is just another view of this, but we see these placards. Did you place these placards here, man?
When I said during this preliminary that the evidence that they had was so overwhelming that they don't even need to go to trial. If you watched all three to 4 days of it, you'll begin to understand why a lot of people say they don't even need a trial, because there was so much evidence that they had and they knew how to present their case and argument in Macomb County. So that's probably why. But yeah, I just felt like with so much stuff they had, they didn't even need to go to trial, but they are still.
I did, yes.
All right, what do those placards indicate?
Those indicate items of evidence that I was collecting. So placard 1, I took a swab from the apparent blood on the floor of the dumpster, and then placard 2 is the tinfoil and styrofoam, which I packaged together.
All right, I'll zoom in on that. Is this a little bit better on 78?
Yes,
A little bit better?
it's a closer image.
How big of an area was this approximately?
It was approximately a 10-inch squared area of RBS on the red brown staining on the floor of the dumpster, and then there was some staining on the items, the styrofoam and the tinfoil. I did not measure that because I assumed if it was being processed in the lab that they would measure it. And then once I removed the tinfoil and the styrofoam, there was blood underneath it as well.
Now, you indicated that you initially did a test to determine if this red-brown staining was blood. What type of test is done?
It is a blood test. Do you want the name of it?
If you know it.
Yes, it's phenolphthalein. It's a 2-step test. You put a drop of phenolphthalein on it, followed by a drop of hydrogen peroxide, and if it is positive for the possible presence of blood, it turns pink, which in this case it did.
Do you retain that test in any way, shape, or form after you conduct it?
I didn't in this case. We can. I didn't because there was plenty of sample for me to swab the same exact area and get another swab of it.
Once you swab this.
Hold on, yeah, Betty asked me a question. Will you be covering the Jimmy J. Lee trial? It starts December 1st. I haven't planned on it. I gotta look more into the story. I heard about the story, but I gotta look more into it. I tried to get through the first one. Well, I did watch the first one, but I wanted to go back and rewatch the first one, but it's too time consuming, the first one. It's like all the videos is like 8-9 hours. That's just too entirely long. But if I do, I might break it up. I got to figure out how I'm gonna do it and how I'm gonna cover them. If I might break it up into like different videos by different days or different witness, because the first one I really couldn't go back and rewatch it. I only watched the first one because when I was at work, I sit down all day, so I just had to do that one. So it was just something. It was something for me to do when I was at work. Pretty much is why I watched the first one. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look into it though. I might have to figure out how I'm gonna go, like moving. Like even with this one that I'm doing now, this one is 6 hours, so I got to break it up into 2 different parts. Like part 1 I'm doing now, and then part 2 I'm gonna do like tomorrow or something like that. Because this one is these trials be long.
Area and you collected, what's done ultimately with that swab?
I packaged it, sealed it, put it on the truck in a secure location, and then once it gets back to the lab, we put it in a secure location as well.
You also label it, I'm guessing?
Yes, of course.
Once you completed your duties inside that dumpster, what do you do next?
Next, we went back to the Hampton Court apartment complex, and we went to the 2nd floor apartment building or apartment and processed it for a blood search as well.
So that's apartment 202 again?
Yes, it is.
When you say you went there to process it for a blood search, how do you do that? What are you looking for specifically?
We look for red brown staining.
So just to update who this witness is on the stand, she's a DNA expert. Well, not a DNA expert, a blood expert, who analyzed the items that was thrown that was in the garbage where the DeAndre Booker had put something that belongs to Ashley Elkins into the trash. Well, not just items. I believe it was personal. I think he used the same dumpster, but it was personal items, but then it was also where it was alleged that he dumped her body into the trash as well. And she's just there to collect, to testify to the blood that she did testify to, or not testify to. She's here to testify to the blood that she analyzed in the dumpster. Had to get it right. Appreciate the flowers. Yeah, buddy. You know, it's funny that when you mentioned the Jimmy J. Lee trial. This is the second one, but it's going to pivot to Naziah Harris when I was saying like a lot of evidence does not come out until trial or until after the trial. So as far as like finding her, that may not come out until after the trial, but I hope it does, because I've been seeing a lot of trials to where the victim will be found after the trial. If it ended because the first trial ended in a mistrial, and this is the Jimmy J. Lee trial that I'm speaking about. It ended in a mistrial because they didn't have a body, but they were able to piece together a lot of puzzles during that trial, and they were able to find out where his remains was. So that I'm hoping that that's the same outcome with Naziah Harris as well too, that we actually are able to find her even after the trial, before the trial even starts even as well too, whether before or after. I hope there's some type of evidence that does lead us to where she is located. So ready for Naziah too, praying she gets. Yeah, we all are. That trial is about to be long. It's about to be very lengthy. About to be very lengthy. More than a couple months lengthy. But let me get back to this one.
So first we do it with the naked eye using bright oblique lighting. In that case, I did observe some areas of RBS that we tested and collected as well.
And again, RBS is red brown staining.
Yes, it is.
All right. There is a stipulation, Your Honor, to exhibits 128 through 182, I believe, for purposes of exam.
Those are photographs.
Yes.
128 through
182.
no objection for purposes of examination.
Thank you.
Don't forget to hit that like button if you're in
So we
the
have exhibit
or in the
128
bushes.
on the screen right now, ma'am. What are we looking at here?
This is red brown staining on the wall. I believe this is in the hallway of the apartment leading towards the bathroom. You can see markings on this image that I made. And then there's a P next to it, which stands for positive for that phenolphthalein test.
So this is taking place back at the defendant's home. There's blood stains, faint blood stains on the wall, and she was able to analyze that turned out to be blood. Well, they were like red and brown stains that appeared to be on the wall. He didn't have any children or toddlers or anything like that, so it wasn't crayon or any marker. So they just alleged it to be blood. So they analyzed it. It came back to be just that.
That I spoke of earlier.
When you say the markings that you made, we have sort of reddish brown markings, and then there's the blue markings. Which ones are the ones you made?
The blue markings, yeah.
When you have an area like this that has a P next to it, what do you do with that? Sample that.
What I
Or
test.
What do you do with that area then?
So these are all samples that I tested for blood, which were positive, and then I picked a representative sample to send to collect and send forward to the lab. That sample being the middle one with the scale next to it.
And how, again, you collect that in the same manner that you collected the one you've already discussed?
Yes.
Now, in 129, what do we have here?
This is an image of another area of red brown staining on the closet in the hallway. This one was also positive for apparent blood, and I collected this sample as well.
When you collect this again, same manner?
Same manner.
Did you have to do anything different as it relates to, or are there different methods? Let me ask it that way, to collecting samples of this.
It's pretty standard for us to just swab it. If it's an item that can be removed from the apartment, we might just collect it rather than swabbing it. But in this instance, we did swabbing. I did swabbing.
Thank you. All right, now, exhibit 130, what do we have here?
This is another area of red brown staining.
Do you remember where this was?
It's close up, so I can't entirely remember. I believe this is in the wall near the bathroom.
And we see the writing on there, weak P, and then another P on
Yeah.
the bottom right. Can you describe or explain what those are?
Yes, both of the P's mean it was positive for the presence of possible blood. The weak P just means that it was a fainter reaction, meaning instead of like a bright pink, it was more of a faint pink color.
I want to be clear about a couple things here. We're looking at a screen are you able to really differentiate some of the red brown staining on this screen?
On
that you
this
saw?
on this screen, I can't entirely see it, but I think closer up images might have been taken.
And so it would have been visible to your eye when you were there?
Yeah, the naked eye, yes.
All right, so close up now with 131.
Yes.
Are we able to see that area that was in 130 a little bit better?
Yes,
Did you take that sample?
I did.
Now 132, what does this mean?
This is the cabinet or the counter for the sink in the bathroom of the apartment.
Vanity?
Yes.
And again, what are we looking at?
2 areas of red brown staining.
133?
Yes, this is a closer up image of one of the areas of red brown staining. It has multiple circular stains, which I also collected for the lab.
Thank you. Now, 134, what are we looking at here?
This is in the bathroom as well. That's the bathroom door, the exterior side of the bathroom door, and the floor both had areas of red brown staining on them, which were positive as well.
Did you collect samples from that?
I did.
Thank you. 135, just a close up of that area.
Yes.
Now 136.
This is the toilet. There was some red brown staining on the toilet. There's a scale next to the stain, which I collected as well.
And then we'll zoom in on that on 137.
Yep, it's visible, and the P stands for positive for blood.
Thank you. 138.
This is another image of the bathroom, just with the door closed now. You're seeing the interior side of the door, which you can see in the bottom corner of the door. There's a scale where there was an area of red brown staining, which I tested. It was positive, and then I further collected.
So the naked eye there, were you able to notice any sort of blood or anything on the vanity itself on top?
Yeah, on top, there was some faint red-brown staining on it. We didn't test it right then and there. We wanted to do another chemical test later on, so we waited for that. But there was some visible dilute staining.
Thank you. And then you were talking about the corner of the door when you closed it. Is this just a close-up of it in 139?
Yes, it is.
Thank you. And even further close-up in 140
Yes.
and 141?
Yep, just closer up.
Thank you. And again, 142.
Yes.
At 143, what are we looking at here?
So this is an image of the bathroom, specifically the tub shower area, after we did a test called LCV, or leucocrystal violet. That is just a blood detection reagent that we use to find latent blood that you cannot see with the naked eye.
How would latent blood show up with this LCV?
It causes a chemical reaction in the blood to turn a purple color. So
How do you get this chemical? How is it sent to the Michigan State Police?
we order the chemicals in powder form, and then we measure them out, store them on a truck properly, and then once we get to the scene, we make it into a liquid form. Application.
Yeah, because he got blood everywhere, and the incident took place in the bathroom. So it sounded like there was some overkill involved because of where the blood splatter went. So your comment, yeah, buddy, can't imagine what she went through.
Is just spraying it with a fine mist.
How can you be sure that the mixture that you've made is accurate and will give you the results that you want?
So before we use it on evidence, we do a quality assurance by testing it on a positive control sample and a negative control sample, and we ensure that both of those respond accordingly before using it in a scene.
And was that done with the LCV in this particular case?
It was.
So now as we look at 143, why did you choose this bath area to spray with that mist?
We sprayed the whole bathroom. Actually, I think there's more pictures of it later, but we chose the bathroom, the tub specifically, and the sink specifically because those are areas where latent blood might be found because it can mix with water, become more dilute, and therefore harder to see with the naked eye.
So what is it that we see here then of note?
So in the tub, it's a little difficult to see because of the blue tile, but if you look, there is some purple, it's like a blue violet color discoloration on it, and that is the developed blood that we found using the LCV. It's on the top of the bathtub lining and then like on each wall.
And we'll have some more pictures as we go forward, but were you able to see any of this latent blood with your naked eye before spraying the?
There were some areas of very dilute that we were able to see with the naked eye, but not to this extent.
Let's go to 144. Again, are we seeing that purple here?
Yes, you are. Yep, it's all on the lining of the bathtub as well as going into the bathtub.
145.
Just another image closer up. You can see some of the purple color development on the tiles in between them as well.
Can I have you just step down and maybe show the court where we're looking at on this one here?
So you can see the purple discoloration all right here as well as up on the wall. I think there's some better images later on in here, but there's along the window right here on the side, right here, as well as this whole area right there.
Thank you. When you say this area right there, you're specifically pointing to the area where the tub meets the walls.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, now as we look at 146.
This is another image of the bathtub. More so the wall in there as well. You can see the violet development on as well.
Just right of center of the
Yes.
screen on that wall, and then again where the tub meets the wall.
Yes.
Zoom in on that on 147.
Yes.
And on 148, we're looking at the front of the area of the tub.
Yes. You can see some purple development right on like the bathtub underneath the spout, as well as going into the bathtub, as well as on the wall or the tiling above and below the handles.
And then zoom in on 149 again to see that same area.
Yes.
150, a little bit different angle, but still the same.
Yes. You can see some purple discoloration in the corner of the bathtub on like the left hand side of the image.
And now 151.
This is an image of the wall, the shower wall just below the window. There's a scale on there. That's an area that I swabbed and collected.
And that's in the very dead center of this photo.
Yes, it is.
I know it's not really on this screen, it's difficult to see, but that scale is showing staining of sorts.
Yes.
Let's zoom in then to 152.
Yes, that's a closer image of the staining that was in the last image. That area I swabbed and collected for biology.
Now, when you swab an area that's already had the LCV applied to it, does that affect your ability to collect that evidence at all?
No, it doesn't. We're still able to collect it and send it forward for DNA processing.
153.
This is just a zoomed out image of the bathroom. It shows some staining on the outside of the bathroom tub, on the wall to the right of the image, and then there's some staining on the floor as well.
Let's zoom in on some of those now. 154. So I don't know, is it possible to turn these lights off? Because obviously what I'm seeing on my screen is not what's appearing on this TV, so I don't know if these lights are washing it out. I want the court to have its best ability to see this, but,
I can see it already.
Okay.
I can't tell them.
and obviously we'll have it available for the court to view on
I
these as well.
can see it.
All right, thank you. What are we looking at in 154, Ms. Gresham?
This is the bathroom floor. It's a little difficult to see in this image because of the gray tile and the TV, but the floor of the bathroom, the entire floor developed with purple after spraying the LCD.
155,
Just a closer up image towards the front of the toilet and on the toilet as well.
156,
Just a different angle.
directly in front of the toilet.
Yes,
And then a zoom in on that on 157.
yes,
Again, even closer on 158.
yes.
159.
Yes, this is an image of the bathroom floor and then the shower walls. And then if you look in the bottom right corner of this image, you can see some purple development on that wall as well.
Officer, can you turn the lights off? Just, it may be more apparent, but it seems to me that it's very apparent.
You're the only lights that are not off are the ones
Yeah,
that.
those are.
And on that, you were saying on the bottom right corner by this grate, what were you saying about that?
That has purple development from the LCD application.
Sorry, which exhibit is this one?
159, Judge. All right, and now 160.
This is an image of the toilet. You can see some development right beside the toilet, right next to the tile. It's kind of in the center of the image.
And then on top of the toilet as well. Maybe you can't see it here.
It's hard for me to see,
All
but I
this
do
evidence in the
recall.
bathroom. I'm ready for them to move on to the next piece. I'm kind of looking at this dirty.
161 is zoom in on the top of the toilet.
Yes, Yep.
Okay, we can see it there.
yes.
162. What do we have here?
That is right beside the toilet on the wall. There's purple colored development.
Again, sort of a zoom out.
Yeah, it's difficult to see in this image, but it kind of goes up the wall a little bit more as well.
And that's in 163. Yeah, can you, is there, you can't really tell, but do you know how high this goes in the photo or? do you
In
remember?
this photo, I can't recall. I believe,
If you can set, if it helped you, you can set that way.
about to here-ish.
So about 3/4 of the way up,
Yes,
center of the screen where the tile meets the wall?
yes.
Are you, that's fine, you can see that because I can,
I can see it, I recall it, and I can see it in this image.
it may be because of the lighting somewhere.
Yeah. And Judge, you'll have 163 to view at your leisure.
Thank you.
It'll be a little bit better than this. 164 is a close-up now of where 163 was,
Yes.
where you were pointing about 3/4 of the way up.
Yes,
Can you sort of see it there now on the screen?
yeah, I can see it. It's right in the center.
165, what do we have here?
This is the opposite wall from the toilet. There's purple color development going about a foot up from the floor for the majority of the wall, but then near the bathtub shower area, it goes further up about a little more than 3/4 up the wall.
Thank you. 166.
Just a different angle, same image, or same area.
167.
That is the same wall we were just looking at with the bathroom door closed. You can see the purple color development further on the wall behind where the door was, and then on the floor as well.
168.
You can see the purple color development on the floor in front of the bathroom door.
We're starting to now turn to the door straight on
Yes,
in 169.
yes, that's this image. You can see the purple color development on basically the entire bathroom floor.
170.
This is an image of the sink and the vanity. There's purple color development on the vanity and as well as the light switch.
Let's switch to the left there.
Yes.
And 171.
This is just a different angle of the same area. And then you can see some on the floor there as well.
172.
Hold on, guys.
This
I'll be
is
right back.
an image of the sink area straight on. There's purple color development on basically every side of the sink.
173.
This is an image of inside the sink. You can see purple color development going into the drain.
174.
This is to the right if you were facing the sink, and it's purple color development.
175.
This is to the left of the sink if you were looking at it straight on, purple color development.
Now we're going to 176.
Yes, this is leading out of the bathroom. You can see that there is some purple, bluish color development on the carpet leading out of the bathroom.
And 177.
Just further out of the bathroom, but there's purple color development there as well.
78.
This is leading into the hallway from the bathroom. There's purple color development on the floor.
Is this the same hallway that we started your inside inside the apartment testimony with? The swath on the wall that was exhibit 128?
Yes, yep.
179.
This is the hallway. You can see purple color development on the carpet.
And again, same hallway that was in 128, 129 in that area.
Yes,
In fact, we can even see on the left.
I can see on the left, like by the door,
Yeah, what's on that door that you can see?
the closet door.
Yes.
I thought you were speaking about.
Let me try to zoom in on it. Can you see the closet door here?
Yes.
What is that? That area that I'm circling in the bottom left corner.
I'm not sure from this angle. It looks like red brown staining to me.
Oh, can you maybe you step down? Maybe you might be able to see a little better.
Sorry, the image just went blurry.
Yeah.
There-
Let me ask you, if you look on my screen, does that help?
Oh yeah, that's the area that I had previously tested of red brown staining that I was able to observe with my naked eye.
And that's some marks those are the marks that you made.
Yes, yes, it is.
They're visible in this one.
Yes.
180.
This is the hallway leading towards the bedroom of the apartment. You can see purple discoloration on the floor.
On the floor. 181.
This is the area between the bathroom, the closet, and the bedroom. There's purple discoloration on the carpet.
And then 182 is our last photograph here.
Just more purple discoloration in the hallway.
Once you,
Have any more exhibits? If not, we'll.
I don't. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Once you complete the LCV spraying and examination, what do you do next?
After that, there were a couple areas of the LCV that we collected. You were able to observe one of them with the scale in the bathroom.
That was the one underneath the window?
Correct, yeah. There was a couple of areas of ridge structure that developed in the LCV as well.
What is ridge structure?
Ridge structure pertains to fingerprints. That's outside the area of my expertise. The forensic technician, Olivia Hall, was there. She was in lady prints at the time. She took images of those, and then I swabbed it after the fact to collect the LCD positive area.
And then ultimately, what are done with those samples? All the samples that you collect?
All of the samples that we collect are taken back to the lab and then put in secure storage until they are ready to be processed by the specific disciplines.
What discipline will you be sending these swabs of suspected blood or presumptive positive blood to?
Biology. So another biologist in the body fluid identification section of biology would process those samples first and then send them forward for DNA processing.
So there's still 2 more tests before we get to DNA.
Potentially, yes. In this instance, I think some of the samples that we collected ended up being returned to the agency unprocessed because they had other evidence submitted. But I did not take part in that processing.
After you do that, what else do you do while you're on scene?
After that, I think at that point we were done processing the scene. So at that point, we discussed with the agency what we observed, what we needed from them, and then we took the evidence back to the lab, put it in secure storage, and then within a few weeks, we wrote a report and sent it out.
Can I just go on, Ryan?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge. No further questions from this witness.
Mr. Lang?
Okay.
Can I help you with something? Or?
Just the dumpster first.
You want that? Hold on. I'll get it up.
Inside.
You want outside or inside? All right, Rob, I'm going to put 77.
My bad, y'all. I'm back. Man, pissed off that they done messed up my damn DoorDash order.
So I take it when you see this, you first take photographs, you put placards down so that you can identify through the photos what places you took samples from, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, buddy said he even looked crazy. Yeah, he was acting a fool. He looked
Now,
real to a serial killer.
did you have
He
to,
looked like serial killerish.
you said you test these at first to see if they are blood, correct?
Correct.
And that's the phenol, phenol,
Phenol thing.
phenol.
Yeah.
Can you spell that, please?
Yeah, it's PHENOL. PHTHELEIN.
So that's the test you say kind of confirms that it's human blood, correct?
That test is not specific to human blood. That is just for blood.
Just blood. Okay.
Yes. If it were human blood, sorry, I'm misspeaking. If we needed to test it for human blood, that would be done back at the laboratory. In this case, I don't know if it was or was not done at the laboratory, but in this instance, at the scene, I tested it for phenol only, just to see if it was blood, so I could collect it.
Okay. And you said when you test it, you basically swab it first,
Yes.
and you said you put it into some type of solution.
No, I didn't put it into a solution. I put a drop of a solution on it, followed by a drop of another solution.
Okay. So the solution is the phenol.
Phenolphthalein, yes.
And you said when it's positive, it turns the blood that you swabbed, or the suspected blood that you swabbed, to a bright pink color?
Yes,
All right. And do you keep that testing material or photograph it to preserve that, yes, this particular sample that I took tested positive, and here's the photograph of it turning bright pink?
we don't do that, no.
Or you don't keep the swab that turned bright pink?
Correct, I did not keep the swab. In this instance, there was plenty of
The defense
samples
attorney,
to swab in the same
responsible.
area and get more,
This defense attorney has no defense at all. You are asking all technical questions related to procedure and, you know, specifics of things. But where's your argument as far as, you know, Mr. Booker wasn't there? He doesn't own a weapon. You know, he has an alibi, you know, something like that to that extent. But he hasn't offered or provided any of that. He's just going off of, he's just rebutting off of what they're saying and just trying to use it against what they've already testified to. But none of his tactics is working.
more of the sample to collect.
Okay, and then you don't save it because there's enough sample to then have it tested at the lab to see if it's human blood. Is that the rationale?
Correct, yeah. We don't do another phenolphthalein test at the laboratory. At that point, they would test it for human blood if they suspected that it could be something other than human blood. But most of the time, we just send it forward for DNA processing at that point. If it was sent to DNA processing and it wasn't human blood, then I don't believe that they would get a DNA profile from it.
And you said this area was approximately, 10 by 10 inch by 10 inch area of blood on the floor of the dumpster.
Correct.
Okay. Did you, you collected samples. Did you do any kind of test or measurement of the amount of blood that you found?
There's scales in the image, which we use to measure the amount. If you're talking volume of blood, then I did not do that.
Okay. I guess, yeah, I see your scales.
Moving
in
back,
terms
rocking
of
back and
size,
forth though. I can see, at least still.
But in terms of volume of blood, you don't do any testing for
Appreciate that. Yeah,
No,
buddy.
there's nothing that we can really do for that. In this instance, it's spread out. We can't test the volume of blood. We don't have any training in that. I don't know that it's possible in this instance either.
All right, so we don't have any idea of how many milliliters of blood were in the dumpster, correct?
Correct. I can't speak to that.
Which one do you want? Which easy for me to do? Code check.
Just back to the blood spots on the hallway closets.
This one, 128.
That's fine, we can start here. Okay.
So what
So,
is that?
128, right?
so now you have marked that you collected samples of what you believe is blood on the hallway wall, correct?
Correct.
And those are tested again with the phenolphthalein.
Yes.
I'm pronouncing it wrong, I'm sure.
It's okay. We say pheno in the lab if that's easier.
Okay. And so, again, I would take it that everything you have marked, whether it's in the hallway or the bathroom with a P and a scale,
Yes.
is something that you tested with the phenol, correct?
Correct. And then there's additional areas that I have marked with a P, meaning it was tested, but I did not collect those areas. If it has a scale next to it, I collected it, yes.
Okay, so you collected that for further testing
Yes,
at the lab.
to be sent forward.
So anything that is marked with a scale, that's a collection.
Yes,
Anything marked without a scale, even if it's listed as P, wasn't collected, but you did the pheno test to show that it's positive for blood.
correct.
Okay. Now, would I be correct in stating that all these samples of blood that you saw with your naked eye and tested in the bathroom or in the hallway or on the closet doors or bathroom door were tiny in nature, minuscule blood drops?
I guess it depends on what your definition of minuscule is. I was able to see with my naked eye, we have the measurements of them. Whether that speaks to it being a lot of blood or a little blood, I can't really say. But they were small stains, but there was many of them.
Okay. And are you able to tell from either your expertise at looking and collecting the blood, how old the blood stain is?
Unfortunately, we can't date blood.
So you don't know whether that blood was there, how much time before January 7th that it was there?
Correct. I can't tell when it was deposited there.
And that goes in terms of days, weeks, months, or years, correct?
Correct.
Now, when we talk about and let me back up, with regard to these drops of blood, you're not an expert in terms of determining how those stains of blood got to those locations, be they on the floor, the tub, or the wall, correct?
Correct. I can only speak to it as if they test positive or not for blood.
Now, when we talk about the LCV, the spraying of, you say here it's leucocrystal vial.
That's the full name, yes.
Okay,
But we also call it LCV.
okay. And am I correct or not correct? Is luminol kind of like a brand name or a similar name to that?
Luminol is similar in that it tests for latent blood. It's different in the application and how it's processed. So for LCV, you can do that in this room right now as is. Luminol, it needs to be in a dark room because it fluoresces or chemiluminesces. And it's not a fixative, so it kind of like will spray the luminol and it can kind of flow down the wall, whereas LCV fixes to where the staining is only.
So now when we go through some pictures of the luminol,
LCV.
I'm sorry, the LCD.
Yeah.
The bathrooms.
You want to start there or do you want?
You can start there. So when you first apply this LCV, are you saying that you sprayed every square inch of the entire bathroom, the walls, the tile, all of the fixtures?
We did not spray the ceiling, but we sprayed mostly everything else, yes.
And when you spray that on, does the wall stay clear? If there's no blood whatsoever on a wall and we spray this LCV on it, it would just soak into the drywall and stay white or gray or whatever color the wall is?
Correct, there would be no color change.
Okay. Now, from my view of the photographs, there looks like there's kind of blue markings and then purple markings.
LCV turns a blue-purple color. The intensity of the color might vary based off of like how dilute or non-dilute the latent blood may be. In this case, also, I think the TV might be distorting the color a little bit as well.
I guess I'm just gonna see if I can approach you with a couple of these photographs. Which numbers they are, I don't know, but they're obviously all been entered into evidence. And I'm just trying to determine if I may approach, Your Honor.
Yes.
Thank you.
Which is it?
Give me a second, Judge, I'll tell you.
I think one of them is 159, is that?
Slightly different angle. Yeah, wider angle. No, not that one.
I'm not sure which one you have there, Robbie.
From what you're using.
I know, I didn't use all of it.
Either, I mean, it's not that crucial, I think, in terms of numbering. I'm just asking, what I'm seeing in my photos is that some of this is blue, some of it does look purple.
I see what you're saying. To me, whether it's blue or purple, it's positive for LCV.
Okay. Being positive that there's some blood there.
Yes.
Okay. I also see this, like running of the color, like it's dripping down the wall or it's dripping down the bathtub.
Yeah, the flow. Yes.
And is that like there's an absolute trail of blood, that all of that running is blood, or is it there's a spot of blood and the LCV being, I'm assuming, wet, it eventually turns a color and starts running, gravity takes its course and starts running down the wall of the tub?
It could be that we oversprayed, but in my opinion, looking at this is LCV positive areas. If there was an abundance of LCV sprayed, to where it kind of like pooled and then flew down, the purple color change would have happened because it came in contact with the latent blood. So some of this might be flow from down the wall, but the majority of this is LCV positive reaction.
Well, I guess that's what I'm trying to determine.
When it could also,
So here, in both of these pictures, I'm looking at, say, right at where the tub meets
right,
the first piece of tile and the grout there. It looks like that's somewhat of a fair amount of concentration of purple, correct?
correct, yeah.
Okay, and below that, I see these streaks.
Yes.
Like I've poured something on it and it runs down like a heavy syrup would or something, and all running through the tub.
Yeah. It could also be that the latent blood there flowed down or if it was diluted with water. If that was moved around and wet, that could have flowed down, which caused the purple color change reaction as well. This all is positive reaction. This is as well. The darker streaks might be flow, but overall, this entire area is positive for LCD.
And I know she getting irritated.
You're saying that some of this is maybe
She got to be getting frustrated because she's been explaining the same thing over and over in so many in different ways. I don't know what is it that he wants her to say. Like, it's blood that's been indicated there. Like, what are you trying to fabricate it to or turn it into? She can only attest to what she analyzed. It's blood. Like, we going in circles.
from the overspring and it flows down, gravity does its work and it flows down. It doesn't mean that there was some blood that ran down the wall or down the tub.
It could mean either.
Okay, could be either 50-50.
Yeah.
Okay. I noticed that on the wall, in the dry wall, there doesn't seem to be as much of the runoff. Is that because the drywall soaks it in
Yeah, it's
better
more
than the
absorbent.
tile?
Yeah.
And were you able to do any type of, I see that in a lot of these, LCD places and pictures that there's no scales.
Yeah, we don't put down scales for it. When I would say the majority of the walls, the floor, all had LCD positive areas, which the scale wouldn't really help. Our scales are like 5 inches, right? So
Okay, but you don't measure it.
we didn't measure.
And you don't scale it or take a sample of any of the stuff that lights up purple?
I took 3 samples
Okay,
of the
can you show me
LCD
where-
positive areas.
Those 3 samples are. It
Um,
might not be on my picture.
It is on this picture actually. It's right underneath the window in the shower. And then the other 2 images, I don't think you showed them up close, but you can see in this corner scales as well from areas that were photographed and collected as well.
And this photo is, just so the record's clear, it's 159 on the screen.
Yeah, so I think, and one of them might be 2, so I'm gonna look. I'm assuming you're, on that photo, there's 2 spots that you took samples from?
Yes.
Are those 2 scale markers?
These are 2 scale markers. Yes, those areas were the areas where my teammate found ridge structure, and I swapped those after she did her photographs.
Those weren't blood droplets?
They were ridge structure in the LCV positive area.
Okay.
So yes, it was.
So those were blood samples?
Yeah.
Okay. And again, those were more of the drop type blood sample?
It wasn't a blood drop. It was it looked the same as everything else, kind of smeared, but then there was like ridge structure in it.
Okay. And there was one up toward the
Correct.
front of the tub?
Yes, I swabbed that as well.
Okay, so same thing.
Yes.
And I take it you, again, can't measure that or date it, correct?
Correct.
And when I talk about measuring, I'm talking about volume.
Correct.
Now, when you looking at the wall photograph, if I cut myself in my bathroom and, whether it's shaving or whatever, and some blood drops on my sink or on the floor, if I leave it there and you come into my apartment or house, you know, a week later and, being a single guy, I'm not the most clean freak. That might be visible to the naked eye, right? On my tile floor, there might be a blood drop.
It
correct?
could be, yeah.
Okay. If I then try to clean it and I wipe it off and think I got the whole thing, but you put the LCV on my floor, might it very well show some purple spots?
Yes, it could show some purple spots. I wouldn't think like a shaving cut would cause that much blood in this image, but it would turn purple. Yeah.
And all of the red blood stains or red brown stains that you saw,
Mhm.
all of those with the naked eye that you saw were tiny blood drops, correct?
They were smaller, yes.
I'm looking at, for instance, the drops that you marked, I think there might be 5 of them, almost looks like the Big Dipper or something. Those are drops of blood.
I wouldn't call those drops of blood. I would call those possible spatter stains. They're circular staining. Drops of blood look a little different than that, but
To the record, I'm sorry, so the record's clear. Exhibit 133 is what council is showing us.
And there's some drops, and you're not a blood spatter expert, correct?
I have been trained in bloodstain pattern documentation only. So that's all I can do. I have not been trained in anything else.
Oh.
Yeah.
If I have that on my, that's the vanity, right?
Correct.
And if I try to wash that off, that could possibly leave a spot where the LCD would catch that and it would look, you know, purple, correct?
Correct.
But it wouldn't look purple on just, it wouldn't be the same pattern of purple, correct? If I tried to take those stains off my vanity and didn't do a great job of cleaning it, it wouldn't be 5 spots that look like the Big Dipper on the wall after it's sprayed with LCV. Wouldn't it show as like a smear?
Yeah. Correct.
And if I had a blood drop or a couple blood drops from a cut or whatever on my tile floor, and I didn't clean it up or didn't do it right away and walked over those blood drops with my shoes, wouldn't that also lead later, or, you know, being lazy, I take my shoe, I rub it, and, okay, blood's not there anymore. But wouldn't it show up maybe on LCV from me walking out of the bathroom or onto my carpet?
Yeah, it could transfer as a pattern, or there was purple coloration or purple development on the bathroom tile floor as well as in the hallway carpet. So yes, it could.
Okay. So when we look at the carpet, LCV, purple, would you agree with me that that very possible could come from blood on somebody's shoes?
It could, yeah.
Okay.
Now he's trying to say somebody had blood on their shoes, and that's how I got in his
And
apartment.
again, that can't be dated or measured in any
At all.
way, correct?
Correct.
Now, when you talk about these ridge structures, you're trying to, you're taking those as samples to try to like get a fingerprint, right?
Yes, my teammate did that, yes.
Okay. And do you know, even though you're not involved in the, I guess, analyzation of the ridge structures or comparing it to known fingerprints, correct?
Correct. I've been trained in fingerprint processing for crime scenes only, but as far as the analysis, comparison, any of that, that's outside the area of my expertise, yes.
Do you know if those ridge structures were good enough to be compared to known fingerprints?
That's outside of my area of
Okay.
expertise.
You don't know that. I'd have to ask that of somebody else, correct?
Correct.
And that would be the same that I think we established before about the blood, whether it was drops, whether it was from LCV. You don't have anything to do in the comparison or analyzation of those pieces of blood in terms of matching it to individuals.
Correct. So I have been trained in bloodstain pattern documentation, meaning I can say this blood stain looks to me like a spatter stain or a drip stain. As far as its analysis in the lab for BPA, blood stain pattern analysis, that's outside of my area of expertise. And as far as the DNA processing goes for who that blood may have come from, that's also outside of my area of expertise.
Fair enough. And I would be correct in stating, I mean, you, in your report, you list all of the items that you actually tested or collected with, you know, kind of item L1, L2 through L21, correct?
Correct. All of those items are items that I collected. Additional stains that I tested were not listed in that because I didn't collect them.
Okay. And I would be correct in stating that this list basically includes things you took from the dumpster, correct?
Correct.
And the stuff from the bathroom
Correct.
and the hallway and doors nearest the bathroom, such as the door, actually the bathroom door and the little hallway door on the same side of the wall as the bathroom door, correct?
Correct. Yep.
There's no blood samples taken from the carpet, correct?
Correct.
No blood samples taken from anywhere else in the home, correct?
Correct. We did collect some boots from the living room, a washcloth to be tested further back at the lab, but we didn't do any testing on scene.
Is there any type, this LCV pick up any amount of blood that was ever spilled onto a floor, a bathtub, tile, or even a wall or door, no matter how much you cleaned it off?
It depends on how well you cleaned it. If you cleaned all of the blood, then it would not turn positive. If you didn't clean all of it, then it would turn positive.
I have no further questions.
Thank you.
Thank God you don't, man. 'Cause you
Yes.
never should have.
Let me show you, ma'am, let me show you first. Let me show you what's been marked for identification purposes, People's Exhibit 127. Do you recognize this?
Yes, those are a pair of boots that we observed in like the living room area of the apartment 202.
And you collected those boots?
Yes, we did.
They're fairly and accurately depicts the boots that you collected?
Yes.
People would move for admission of 127 as well.
No objection.
And you'll be admitted.
Now, let me go back to, I want to just ask a question about 166. If I cut myself shaving, would I anticipate this much positive LCV on the walls opposite of the vanity, on the walls of the tub, on the side of the tub, and on the floor
I would not expect that much blood.
from cutting myself shaving?
Correct.
You said earlier that the overspray. Let me go back to 150, 153. Yeah, let's go to 153. I'll zoom in just a little bit on it. Mr. Lang was asking you questions about the drips into the tub here on 153.
Yes.
Do you see those?
I see.
Is it, he asked you if it was 50-50, whether or not that was hitting on actual blood that went that path, or whether or not it was just cast off or runoff. Do you remember that?
I recall that.
All right. Do you think it is legitimately a coin flip, or is that?
I don't know that you can put a percentage on it. If there was blood pooling at the top, which it looks like there might have been because you can see the dark line, when trying to be wiped off or cleaned off, then it could have flowed down the bathtub, therefore causing latent blood to be there, which turned positive. If we sprayed a lot, and let's say the pooling was just on the top, and we oversprayed because the tile and the bathtub is not absorbent, it could have flowed down and turned purple because it came in contact with blood. So there's no way either way. There's no way that I can tell which it is for that.
All of this purple though that's on the front of the tub, that's positive. That's not a cast off or runoff.
Correct.
All of it that's on the side of the wall or on the floor, anything like that,
Yeah.
that's not runoff.
That appears to be staining.
The only one that might be is this small area that's on the side of the tub.
In my opinion, yes.
You've been trained on how much to spray?
Yeah, we spray. I mean, we just need like a light layer of mist is all it takes to get a positive result. So yeah, I've been trained.
And you sprayed according to your training?
Yes.
No further questions, Judge.
No further questions.
Thank you, Ms. Gillespie. Mr.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You watch your step.
Thank you.
It's 10:12. Who is your next witness and how long?
Executive Les France, a long period of time.
Long period of time, all right, we'll break for lunch. Come back at, let's be ready to go. Well, before I say it, Officer McKinney, do you know what's happening with the other people that have been working
I don't know. I believe they were going to leave, but I'm gonna.
Can we approach first?
Yes.
So we got one more witness to go, and that's Detective Lesperance, who is the officer in charge. His testimony is quite lengthy, so I'm gonna have to pick up his tomorrow. Might have to stop it today or right now because I think he is the next witness, and I don't want to start and then stop. Yeah, I think that I'm gonna stop right here. So I'm gonna stop it right here, folks. This is part 1 of day 3, and I'm gonna do part 2 tomorrow, and that's gonna be a couple hours, a few hours. But I appreciate everybody that's pulled up and stayed with me. Don't forget to hit the like button, share, subscribe, comment. Have a good one.